Welcome, 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 because we are back, baby. We have been on a hiatus, but guess what? They said it's time to come back, so that's what we did. We came on back because this is August and this is new beginnings. So, welcome to, I was getting ready to say the Empowered Morning Show, but no, no, no. We are here with Melanin and Marriage, baby. Melanin and Marriage. And I'm always excited to be here with my girl. S. Marie, baby, y'all see she rocking that hat, honey. She got it ready for today. So listen,
Right.
how are you?
I am wonderful. I cannot complain. I'm just look tonight. We got a show for them. I'm
Oh, we
so
got a show
excited.
for them tonight. But let me
Yes,
preface it by saying it's a rainy night in Georgia. So
yes,
by
it
the time
is.
you get through listening to this couple, I don't know what y'all gonna be doing in other states, but the people in Georgia, I'm gonna just let them do it. I'm just gonna let them run on with it. I'm gonna let you use your imagination.
Melanin and
I
marriage.
know.
Melanin and marriage. That's all we need to say. You already
Oh,
know what that
listen,
means.
melanin and marriage.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
Listen,
every weekend.
thank you for sure, for sure. If you have not been tuning in, you all know we have a magazine that comes out. It's a digital magazine every month. You need to be subscribed to this magazine because this one of the guests, we have two guests on here, but one of the guests is a contributing writer. So every month she is dropping down some of the most serious, exciting, enticing, inspirational, motivational, take you to the next level in your thinking articles when it comes to romance, even to the point of, her name is Natalie R. Murphy, and she says the R stands for romance. And you know how you can say, well, how are people, how do we know we should trust Natalie? Well, what about we're going to bring on somebody who can, give her the stamp of approval because he's been in the game with her for 40 years, y'all. They are celebrating 40 years in marriage. And so we want to kick off our first show with the couple that we had graced the August edition or August issue of Melanin Marriage magazine. And inside, not only were they fabulous on the outside of the cover, but they came in the inside and laid down some information that you need to be reading so you know what it means to, be in a covenant with somebody, to love somebody for, what they say back in the day, me love you long time.
Long time,
For real,
eternity.
for real. Look, this is a long time, right? They are invested and committed, and we love it because it's something to celebrate. So I'm gonna bring on the Murphys.
Hey,
Woo!
Hey,
Hey,
y'all.
what's going on?
Hey, we got a lot going on, a lot happening this month. August is my month.
August
yes,
is the month. It is National Romance Month, right?
Yes,
It is
yes,
her birthday month, right?
yes. Tomorrow, yes,
Tomorrow, yes. Her
early.
anniversary is coming up. What day is the
on
anniversary?
Sunday.
On Sunday. Did y'all see how strategically they put that together, the birthday and the anniversary? Listen, that's
That
why you
was
said
that
what
was
she
all
did
him.
for you.
That was
Oh,
his idea.
She said that was all his idea. Yes.
okay. We got somebody behind the flirty pen, so it's not just net. That's what I know. Okay, Mr. Kevin. She said you're not the only romantic one in this game. Huh? Come on, tell him.
Exactly. And listen, Kevin said, just a small secret, it's a lot easier to remember anniversaries and birthdays when they're in the same month, couple days apart, ain't it?
Just treated
Absolutely.
it all month.
Yeah, we celebrate all month long, for sure. Well, listen, I know that the people want to hear from you guys and they want to know because there's so many people that have aspirations when they get married of being married 40 years and
Yeah.
still being together and still sitting up under each other like y'all still happy with each other. 'Cause, sometimes y'all can be together 40 years, but y'all is on one end of the couch looking at each other like, I
No,
hope you ain't.
I gotta be close because I like rubbing his thigh.
Oh,
You tell everything you know.
that's what I'm talking about. That's for me. Go on and get them started, baby, because I know.
I got to because she love her man. She said she like to rub his thighs.
Get to be in
Okay,
close
not
proximity.
right. She said thighs, and then you notice she rubbed at the same time. I ain't mad at her. I rub my baby's thighs too.
We paying
Okay,
attention. What you say? We catching on what you putting down. We got it. We
that's
got it.
right. Every drop. So seriously, this as A Love said, this is amazing for me, for a melanin couple to have this type of longevity in a relationship, I grew up, my parents are still together. It's a beautiful thing for me. So tell us, because 40 is such a milestone. Take us back to the very beginning. We want to meet the Murphys for the first time for the Love in Bloom month. So, how did you two meet?
You want me to tell them?
Well, you why don't you start? How about that?
Okay, so we were working at the post office, the midnight shift,
Okay.
and I got off the elevator one night, and I was in this contemplative state, and I was like, I wonder what my life is going to look like, and I was like, I wonder what kind of house I'm going to live in, what my husband's going to look like, and I saw him in the distance, and I said, for all I know, that could be my husband. And then but I just kept going, and I was like, well, I wonder what my kid's going to look like. So I went on, and I never gave it another thought. Now, as I got to know him, when I first got to know him, I didn't like him because he and his friend, every time I looked up, they were laughing, and I was like, "Oh, they so silly." Oh, I did not like him at all. But we got we they kept putting us together, so I guess maybe other people saw what we didn't see at the time, and
Mhm.
we eventually became friends.
Okay.
So from there, so tell them what you did to me.
Well, let's just put it this way. I knew that the friendship was growing stronger. And so I asked Natalie if she knew how to type because at that point I was an undergrad and working that job and another job. And so I asked her if she knew how to type because time was at a premium for me. And she said she knew how to type. And I said, okay, great.
I really
Uh,
did.
could have fooled me. So now it all comes out, huh? No, but I asked her, and she said she knew how to type. She would type my papers for me. Now, what she did not know is that I had already turned in those papers and gotten A's on those papers. I was just trying to get close to her. And after that,
Come on, to be strategic.
because she looked so young, I was talking with her about driver's license pictures. And so I'm saying, some people say that the picture really doesn't look like them. Does yours look like you? And sort of, but what I was doing was carding her. So I carded her to make sure she was above 18 because she looked so young. And uh, and then Sister A Love, you said that I give her the stamp of approval.
Uh-huh.
Well, I will tell it this way. We met over 40 years ago in that post office. And to this day, she is the best delivery they ever made.
Oh,
Bye, y'all. That's all y'all need to
I
know.
like to say drop the mic. Listen, the best delivery. Come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
With
May
the
not have
first
been,
question.
may not have been overnight, but she was coming in hot.
I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. Look, that's how you keep a smile on somebody's face. I'm telling you, that's beautiful.
That is so. So, was there a defining moment, Kevin, that you felt like I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her, or was it just the carding that she was legal and you was like, that's mine?
The defining moment was after we had become best friends. And I was sitting down one day in contemplation, and I said, it's not so much the person I want to spend my life with, it's the person I cannot see my life without.
Love
And
it.
she is that person. And so uh,
Mm.
I then began to let her know I was serious about it. However, we were at where were we? At Sylvia and Tony's wedding?
I don't know where
The
you were.
reception, okay. And so my sister and her brother-in-law's wedding reception. And so someone at the reception said, Kevin and Natalie, you two will be next.
Oh yeah.
And I said something to the contrary.
He said no.
And less than 1 year later, we were married.
Wow. Look at this.
Mm.
Look
I
at
love it. That is just beautiful. I'm still stuck. I'm with Banks. I'm
Banks
stuck on
said
best delivery.
the best
Yes.
delivery ever made, honey. He said the post office need to coin that.
Hey,
Yes.
Anthony.
Yeah, everybody
Yes.
at the post office could have just retired after that. They could
They
have
could.
just gone to email after that.
I love it. So let's not skip it, but being that it was such a good connection, and then Nat commented, hey, it started off a little rough, like I ain't like him and his little crew, so tell me, early on in the relationships, obviously, and I love what you said, Kevin, is that you use the word best friend, and that's what a lot of relationships fail to understand, is that your mate truly needs to be your best friend, because that is your thick and thin, your sickness and health, that is your everything. But they just have this assumption that if it's not perfect, then we gotta just cut it off. So something that you're willing to share. Tell us what maybe were some differences that you had early on in the marriage that you now learned to appreciate about each other. Let me say
Ooh, we got 40 years of that. Because
that.
we are night and day.
But that's good. That's exactly why we need to
They say
know
opposites attract.
Opposites
Right.
attract. And
that.
I was, one of the things that Natalie and I we talked about through the years is that there are core principles in each person's life, and
Yeah.
then beyond that, there are preferences. And
Mhm.
so, as long as your core principles are the same, the preferences, that's just conversation. And so, whether one likes green,
Yes, Kevin.
yeah, whether one likes green and one likes blue, that's just all conversation. And we have to remember, and I think it was Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Mhm.
I think it might have been habit number 3 or 4, where he said the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
Ooh, say that
Girl, Nelly, look at you, girl. You got you. That's why. That's why, Kevin. I like that. Make the main thing the main thing. But
thing.
here we're talking about principles versus preferences, because I think so many people get caught up when they say, "What are you looking for?" And they are talking about, they need to be 6 feet tall, or they need to be such complexion, or they need to this, that, and the third. None of those are what's going to keep you when the going gets rough or tough. It's
Absolutely.
not going to keep you when you're dealing with an illness. It's not going to keep you when your finances are, a little
Right.
tight, tight
Right.
and not right. And I think that society makes us think preferences are the thing, but really and truly, it's all about the principles.
Yes, and one of the things I think about, and not to introduce morbidity to the conversation, but I think when it comes down to when we're talking about principles, is when one or the other person is suffering a hospitalization of a relative or death of a relative, can the other person provide the ministry of presence? Can they be fully present there? And
Mhm.
I believe it was Charles Spurgeon, theologian, who said, "Preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words."
Ooh.
Sometimes we just need to be still, be fully present, and the moment will provide the healing we need.
Mm, 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 mm.
Uh, Look,
You started.
Kevin, did you play Major League Baseball? Because you are hitting it out the park.
I hit it out of the park when I married this lady. I
You
married up.
Ball game over.
ball game is over. Listen, shut the
Listen,
stadium lights out because it's
now,
done.
can they score 50 points in one game? Because he scored about 1 million. Just these
Yes.
comments alone are powerful. And the
Yes.
fact that, you take heed to the things that you read, but you're also pouring it into your marriage. And my next question was literally about that. Relationships, we're quick to get married, but we're slow to stay together. So, certain things help your marriage, but you have to be willing to put in the work. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are not able to do that. And it's not because they cannot, they're not willing. You've made a choice to run quick versus be in a marriage and sustain that marriage, because you want to, not because, okay, they've gained, 40 pounds since, being 18 or 19 years old, or because, oh, you're a little hunched and you don't sit straight up, just the little things that people allow to deter them from continuing to be committed with that one. But your words are just, and they're just so powerful, because we lose sight of what's important. And it's what brought you guys together.
And that's one of the things. We went to a marriage retreat this past weekend, and one of the things that we talked about is the reason a lot of the new marriages are not lasting is because they're romanticizing marriage. And where there is romance in marriage, there's a whole lot more behind that. Like you said, and like Kevin was saying, if your spouse gets sick, how are you going to handle that? That for better or for worse.
Absolutely.
That's a real commitment right there.
Yes,
Because
it is.
worse might be that hospitalization. Worse might be losing their job, and now you have to go on public aid or whatever assistance may be out there. So that's part of that, and the other part is you have to like your spouse. Love is wonderful. I mean, I have people in my life that I love that I don't want to be around because I don't like them. You have to like your spouse. And like you said, we started out when we finally overcame we didn't overcome all our differences, but when we came together, we were friends. We were friends 1st. And I actually liked being around him, and he liked being around me.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
I think that's such an important thing to bring out, Nellie, because we romanticize the word love, and matter of fact, we even commonize the word love because you love it. It's love, love, love. Love is so common. And you say, oh, I love a bottle of water. I love, but we don't really give love the weight and respect that it should have. But in the essence of things, love can fade, or you can love someone and still not like him and still want to be with them. Liking somebody means that you're still going to show up even on the worst days.
Right.
Liking somebody means that, I'm going to show up even when I don't really want to do this because I genuinely like you as a person. Because what they say is a thin line between love and hate, not like and hate. So when you like somebody, that means you genuinely take that time to invest in who this person is, and you accept them for who they are. Love sometimes, when they talk about rose-colored glasses, and when you see things through a filter, it's a little difficult when the glasses come off, right? It's a little difficult when reality hits, and you realize, oh, so I thought you were going to have me in diamonds and furs, and so while we pleather and
flip flops.
Right. So I love that you said that, and that you can look at each other now and still say, in spite of, I like this person. This is my friend. This is the person I want to tell things to. Good days, bad days, or whatever. I want to come and share it with this person.
Right.
Yes. And I think one of the things that we do, if you were to look at our vision statement for our marriage, one of the things we do is it is deeply rooted in God and in God's love. And so when we look at, for example, I'll just go biblically here just for a moment, something all preachers do. So bear with me if you would be so kind.
I'm with it. Be ready.
In Genesis 1:26, God says, let us create humankind in our own image and in our own likeness. Okay. That tells me that this woman right here is made in the very image of God. Therefore, she is sacred. She has the imprint of the divine upon her spirit. And if I do anything that is ungodly to her, then I am going against the imprint of the divine. That's the first thing. The second thing is in Ephesians 5, where the word tells the men, it says, husbands, love your wife as Christ cherishes the church. One of the things to think about, if we look at biblical studies, for example, is that the New Testament was written in Koine Greek. And in Koine Greek, they have a more robust series of definitions for the word love. It's not trivialized the way in which we have made it so common today.
Uh-huh.
In the Koine Greek, there were various types of love. You had phileo, which is brotherly love, like Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. You
Uh-huh.
had storge, family love. You had eros, erotic love. And you had agape, which was the love of all humankind. And so when we look at love through a variety of lenses, it's kind of like a diamond. When you see it in all of its facets and you brush up against it every now and then, every facet is going to be more brilliant. That's the facet of friendship, facet of being erotic with each other, the facet of being family with each other, the facet of just saying, I love you because the imprint of the divine is upon your spirit. I think then it's impossible for us to trivialize it.
Mm.
The imprint of the divine is on your spirit. So I was going to sidebar it after the fact and say, let me ask Kevin, can he come on and start writing some articles for Melanin Marriage magazine? Nelly, you've been holding out now. You know, Nelly, you our girl, but you've been holding out on us.
She's the brilliant writer.
Oh, he's a writer too.
Oh, hey, we
We can
already
tell.
know.
We can tell.
Napoleon said, you better speak. And Anthony said, brother, teach them, sir. Yes.
Yes, because we're really dropping gems, and it's amazing coming from a male. And I say that because usually it is the women who are doing a lot of the talking, who are exercising their opinions and their thoughts, and just putting it out there for the world. But especially in the melanin culture, for me, I love the fact that you are able to speak, but prophetically, but also speak out of love for your wife, and giving her her flowers, but also letting the world know this is what God gave me. So I must cherish it. And then you told us where to go get it in the Bible. Many people can't do that. We're so quick to talk about God, but can you tell me where God is in the Bible? And then can you show me your actions and how you displayed what God provided to you? So it's like, give me the message, but give me the action that goes along with that message. So I think it's just beautiful. This is truly love in the bloom, because it's just, again, it's truly showing why your marriage has reached 40 years and still going. There's genuine love there, but there is appreciation for one another. And the fact that you're able, like, to talk, but you both giving flowers. We know Nat the pen is a beast. We know that. But obviously we understand God gave it to her, but guess what? God put someone right beside her who is that equal beast, that male beast that comes along with it, that allows her to write those beautiful things that we get to read every month. But we see what's behind it. That's powerful. Like, I just, oh my God. I'm like, if
Look at what, yay!
yes, I'm
But
just
you
Always been,
but you
always been. What'd you say, Angie?
I said you hit the jackpot. I said, but you both hit the jackpot. And that's the
absolutely,
place.
Absolutely. But he's
absolutely.
always been supportive of everything I've done. Um, I wanted to go into early childhood education, and
Mhm.
the job that I had at the time, I was making twice as much money. He said, "No, if you're not happy there, you want to work in childcare, you work in childcare." When I got done with childcare, I said, "I want to start my photography business." He said, "Start your photography business." When COVID shut down my photography business and I started writing, this has been my number one cheerleader. He helps. What you say? You might quit me, man. He carries my tables and stuff to all the vendor events and things like that. So he has always supported everything that I do.
Wow.
Well, part of that is because when we look again, going biblically again, and we consider the person of the historical Jesus. One of the things that we see is that the Gospels are liberating.
Mm.
About a brown skinned Palestinian Jew who had a more revolutionary way of the kingdom coming to earth as it is in heaven. And so, in that, it is about liberation. And so, I have agreed with God that this amazing sister right here is sacred and has the imprint of the divine upon her spirit. And I have committed to God that I would be her biggest cheerleader. And that if she had fear, I would help to liberate her from that fear. If she
Mhm.
had doubt, I would help to liberate her from that doubt. If there was anything else where sometimes we like to say, if I said or did anything stupid. No, when I said or did something stupid,
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
I was to liberate her from whatever she was feeling by reminding her that she is loved and that she is safe. And so I have to be intentional about creating safe spaces for non judgmental conversation because it's in that conversation, it's in those moments that liberation occurs and can take form.
Now, see, you hit it. You said safe space. Now, that's important.
Level of exposure to
Mm.
things that people have, with the ability to think that you're looking into someone's relationships when in our reality it's not really the real thing. It's a persona or a facade that's being played out in social media that you tend to think this is how it is or this is what it looks like, but behind closed doors is something different. The way that you speak about your relationship with Natalie and the way that you speak about how you consult with and reverence God enough to say that because you bless me with this, I have to respect it and honor it. That comes with a level of maturity that I don't think a lot of people even understand, because when it gets to a point where you're more concerned about the wedding than you are about the marriage, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it speaks to us not really either showing it or conveying what the institution is, because a covenant is a totally different thing from a contract, an agreement, a piece of paper. It's a weightier, heavier thing to deal with. And Banks mentioned this is how you get to 40 years married, because you have to understand what you're entering into.
Yes.
That's like working in a fast food place. It's a job, yes, but what you do as a cashier at a fast food place versus a CEO of a Fortune 500 company requires two different levels of. It may still be some basic principles as far as integrity and all of those things, but the level of how you enter in is different. The CEO knows that it's not really days off. I might say I'm taking a vacation, but if something is going wrong, I need to be in my company and make sure that everything is going like it's supposed to. A cashier may say, "Not today, baby. I got a headache," or they got they getting ready to drop a new series, and I'm not missing the first show, so I'm gonna call out tonight so I can binge watch it. Right? It's different priorities that you place when you actually say, "This is the person that I choose to spend the rest of my life with." And you take those marriage vows sincerely to your heart.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you said, I gotta do this real quick. So
Yes.
you mentioned a level of maturity.
Uh-huh.
One of the jokes we have is that he was born an adult.
I can see that. I can see that.
So I'm the practical joker around here, and
Uh-huh.
he's the real serious one. But
Yes.
we play off each other.
It's
Yeah, it's a balance. It
balance.
is.
It is. It is. And one of the things that you mentioned was to choose the person you chose. And
Mm.
I'd like to say that I love that as an introductory or part A, because part B is that you were chosen.
Mm.
Not only did you choose, but you were chosen. And
Yes.
so the secret is to continue to choose this to choose your spouse every day. I believe
Mhm.
it was. I'll start this way. There was a man who was asked, "How do you stay married to the same woman 20 years?" And he said, "I don't. He said, she's not the same woman she was 20 years ago, and I'm not the same man. And
Mm,
so when you choose each other every day, then you always you treat it as an investment. You don't spend time with the person, you invest time with the person. And that way you can expect a return. And the second thing I will say is that I believe it was Muhammad Ali who said that the person who at 50 years old is the same as they were 35 years ago, uh, they have wasted 15 years,
Mhm.
You
actually
just
55
seg-
years.
segment two of my whole like, oh my gosh. So let's do the flip side of that because you've given us so many gems and again, we're Christians, both of us. So you've brought this to light and again you tied it to the best possible thing ever, God in the Bible. But let's step into the ugly side of marriages and not really the ugly side, just the different side. Let me say that. So we all know that marriages go through, disagreements or times that are not always appealing. What have you learned about resolving your conflict, but in healthy ways? So give us some healthy tips of how you've been able to resolve it. Because again, 40 years, there have to be some moments where you like, okay, like you checking his shoulder and the white dress is over here, but the red dress is over here. So give us some tips to handle this chick over here with the red dress.
Well, one of the things is marriage is give and take, and it's also sacrificing,
Mm,
and it's also knowing when to say when. We hit points because, like I said, we are different. So when we hit a point that we can't agree, we let it ride. Now, of course, it doesn't always go that smoothly. I'm not trying to make a put out on a facade here, but we're like, okay, we're not even gonna deal with that right now, and then we can come back to it later if it's important. Because a lot of times it's not even important.
True.
And one of the things that we say, if it's not important, if you stop and think about whatever the difference is, if it's not going to be important in 6 months, 12 months, let it go,
let it
let it
go.
ride. Because, like you said, it's preferences a lot of time, and
Mhm.
we have different preferences, and that's okay. That's the other thing. You have to be okay with that person having a different preference than you.
And
Mm,
another thing is to get to the point where you turn to wonder. And when you do that, you'll find that you can get over yourself. For example, if Natalie says something that uh, I find might have triggered me or something I disagree with, like she said, if it's not going to impact us down the road, let it go. Get over myself, get over the point of saying I have to be right about this. Because
mm.
the question is, do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
Ooh, say that. Say
And
that.
so
And a lot of people can answer that.
yeah, and so when you turn to wonder, it goes through my mind. I wonder why she said that. Did she have a tough day today? Is something going on? And so when I turn to wonder, uh, that puts me in a space where I'm not trying to be defensive. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm kind of like when you put the car in neutral. I'm just kind of sitting there and holding those emotions, but also holding the possibility that there's something going on that's greater than what I know. And
Mhm.
so things can be true at one time.
Oh, that's so good. I don't think people really consider, when we say give each other empathy, right? And, try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. But a lot of times we're so caught up in how we feel and what
Mhm.
we think. And you think like, oh, so were you trying to be funny? Or, we get defensive so quickly. And you have to understand, like you say, when you wonder, because life does happen. And it happens sometimes where, maybe you were stuck in traffic and you were just frustrated and irritated and you came in and somebody says, hey, what we having for dinner? And it was an innocent question, but you just was like, I just got out, I just got out of the house. Give me a minute. But when you pull yourself away from feeling defensive behind someone's response to a question that allows you to kind of, like as Marie said earlier, not get angry, but just slow it down a little bit and understand that, you know what, maybe I took that personally and it really had nothing to do with me.
Hmm.
It makes a big difference in how you can maneuver your relationship versus going to bed angry and mad for 5 weeks. Because, some people can be mad for a long time, about something, and you ask them later on, well, what was y'all fighting about? I don't know.
I don't know. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I had someone ask me once about that. Well, how do you all, when you can't come to an agreement, how do you all deal with it? Because I have to have the last word.
Mm-mm.
And that's crazy to me. That is so crazy. I Why do you have to have the last word?
Right.
Because it that's what makes you feel better. That's what makes you feel like you won. What did you win?
They're looking for validation, and the validation isn't even relevant because
It's
if
not.
that is what's important to you, then you've lost sight of the true word that Angela started out with, which
Exactly.
was covenant.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
last word is not a covenant,
It's
and
No.
not.
it's oh my gosh. So, and being that you just said that, you're bringing me to this question that I want to hear your response. When people look at your marriage, and this is not just for young people, this is because people get married at all different ages. When people look at your marriage, what legacy do you hope they see?
I want them to see that God is the glue between us. I
Mm,
want them to see that through the joy and pain and sunshine and rain, as Frankie Beverly Meg said, uh, that God has kept us together. And if I were David writing a psalm, I would say, through the various seasons of my life, through the undulations, the ups and downs, and the crazy turnarounds, that God was always the glue to hold us together. And sometimes that glue held us tight like that. And other times, that glue, when we were trying to pull apart a little bit, was kind of like uh, uh, super glue or whatever. It allowed us to stretch and even bend a little bit, uh,
Mm.
but we never broke. And I think
mm,
what bent the most was our will to be right. And
mm.
once that was bent, then we could get to a place of productive conversation, and we can get to looking at the future together.
What he
When
said.
he didn't sung the
Well, they can't get better than that. But you know what?
answer,
That
girl.
was such a great way to put it because at the end of the day, you do have to understand that what difference does it make to win the battle if you lose the war?
Oof.
That part. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
was the war even worth it? And I think people, they don't look at that, A love. They truly don't. They think that, yeah, me not getting the last word, that is most important. But why?
Right.
If
Because
you
you're on the same team. So to get the last word, if it destroys the person, then you technically have destroyed your own team.
Right.
Two becoming
Exactly.
one. So you have to start looking at it from the perspective of whatever I do impacts this other individuals, vice versa, because we're in this together. So if I'm so mad that, okay, so you want to be in a boat and you think we're going to the other side, and I'm gonna put a hole in the boat, but guess what? The water's coming in, and both of you are gonna mess around and drown because
Absolutely.
you sabotage the relationship. So having the last word, really, we got to start thinking about what it means to be yoked together. And if
absolutely,
you're running with somebody and you're so upset that you kicked them in their leg, it's going to make your trip a lot harder when you're dragging them along because they can't walk
Right.
beside you.
Yep.
absolutely. Oh my God. So another question I have for you is how do you intentionally protect your marriage while balancing like family, careers? Because now you mentioned, you changed careers and obviously Kevin was very supportive, but how do you balance that family career and then Kevin you being in the ministry and your other responsibilities, while still continuing to, have this love in the bloom and this fabulous relationship? How do you balance it all?
Well, we make each other a priority. So we have, okay, here's our difference. He prefers breakfast. I'm more of a lunch dinner girl. So we have 2 dates a week. We go out to a breakfast date and then we go to a lunch dinner date. And that's our time. And at this point, we are pretty much empty nesters. Our son did come back to stay with us for a little while, but he does his own thing. So for the most part, it's just us. We have our time in the evening where we sit and we eat and we watch TV or we talk or we're just in each other's space. But we make each other a priority because we have to. Because like you said, children, our kids, even though they're grown, they're still calling me. They're calling him. They've got things going on. Like you said, he's got the ministry. I'm writing. I'll shut myself down in my happily ever after space and write for hours. So, but those 2 times a week, at least those 2 times a week, it's just he and I.
I agree. I think if we were to look at it philosophically, I would say that, or even metaphysically, we are always, every human being is in between two states. You're in between the state of being and the state of becoming. And because we are in between that state of being and becoming, that space in between can be really sweet when you make your spouse the priority and when you remember that they are a part in your growth. And you just make room for that. Make room. You know, I was told many, many years ago in my 20s, after saying some things in a meeting that were true, however, they might have been ill advised for the moment. And I remember coming out of the meeting and my boss saying, Kevin, just remember this. And he was a real nice guy. You know, he was like that uncle that I needed at the moment. And he said, Kevin, you don't always have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to know who is.
Mm.
Oh,
And so there are times where Natalie's the smartest person in the room. And if I don't make space, if I don't recognize that in that space being and becoming, then it's wasted space.
Mm. Look, and she looked dead in the camera after he said that. Now, then top that. I saw that look at that. Don't give it to us. She look, and she had that.
that was a Fifi moment. If y'all reading these articles, I know it's a Fifi moment, like Fifi with that pen, gone Fifi and say what you gonna say.
Right. This is amazing. And again, congratulations on being featured. I mean, just you know, it's such a beautiful opportunity, you know, to be in a magazine and be on the cover. But the things that you put inside of the magazine are equally as beautiful as what you have blessed us with on the cover. So I have to ask for the people, not for me, because I got my gems and I got my magazine. If someone were to read your feature of the magazine, you dropped a lot, but what would be the one thing, and I want both of you to answer this question, what would be the one thing that you hope that they take away or they take heed to from this one feature?
The one thing I would want them to take away is that marriage is worth it. All the time and the effort and the hard times as well, it's all worth it in the end. I've got him by my side, and I can't think of anybody else I would want to be by my side. 40 years, this has been my right arm. This has been my what's the song? Wind beneath my wings. Because I honestly don't believe of all the changes that I've gone through that anybody else would have been able to handle it or felt like wanted to handle it. So like I said, I just feel I want them to take away that marriage is worth the work.
And being that Natalie from time to time believes I have a penchant for being serious, I will do this in an unserious fashion. That is simply this way. Marriage is an investment. You should always look to put credits in the love bank. No deposit, no return.
Ooh.
Look at you.
Just like that. Now that It's how you keep romance for 40 years. You
Absolutely.
put some coins in a bucket and know you ain't getting them back. Look, this
Exactly.
is not a coin machine. We're not getting it back. Look, there's nothing coming back. What you got, is what you got. But
But
you love it.
Miss Marie, that what y'all talked about, or what you said earlier, Kevin, and Nellie just kind of referenced to it. With all the things she's done and been through and experienced and all that, she didn't think anybody else could put up with that but you. That goes back to what you said about being chosen and choosing wisely. Because you need to make sure that whoever you're going to be with is someone who's able to handle all that, and that goes back to the principles versus the preferences, because the preference may say a principle is going to say, I trust you, I have faith, I have hope, I have love, I give grace. A preference is going to say they can sit over there and look cute and be 6 feet tall, or make six figures or whatever, but let you act crazy 1 minute, they're going to be like, yeah. I'm out. So you have to choose wisely. And I'm so glad that you are the ones that we're speaking to about, this type of longevity in a relationship, because you're giving the inner secrets. You know how somebody says we're going to go to a marriage counselor, or we're going to go to, a wise couple, and y'all are giving the real things, not the surface, but the real things that people need to take in consideration.
Mhm.
And I will also say 40 years is not an easy feat.
It's not. It has not been all sunshine and roses and unicorns and rainbow. It hasn't. We have had some knockdown
Some
dragouts.
intense fellowship.
Fellowship, yes.
That
But
fellowship.
the
That
thing,
is the right word.
one thing we said when we decided we wanted to get married was
Mhm.
that we're doing this once and only once.
Mhm.
So the commitment was there. We were not planning to do this, have an argument, and be like, okay, we're done. We set out and said, we're only doing this once. You're it. Let's go.
Yes, and
Right.
I think another part is when you marry someone, uh, in addition to choosing and being chosen, we're all called to embody the gospel. And like I said, that should be liberating. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we have to ask ourselves the question: who do I want to become? Because if the person that I say I want to become and the person that she sees me as being are two different people, then either there is a disconnect in my behavior, or there is something, some deeper conversation and interior work that we need to do. But whatever the case is, it requires time, it requires effort. And just one more thing briefly, it reminds me of project management. And in project management, first you agree that the project is worth it. And then you have to factor in time, quality, and cost. And one of those three will be your driver. And in a marriage, it shouldn't be time, it shouldn't be cost. It must always be quality because it's always worth it.
Y'all,
We
y'all
all
see how
love
different we
Kevin.
said
Look, look. Everybody in America, give Kevin a heart.
y'all see how differently we said that, right?
But you know what? It's different, Nat, but it's beautiful because guess what? Everyone at some point who watches this, you set it in a way in which they will receive it. And my
Mhm.
sister always says, because I have a nonprofit called Mental Health Me, and she goes, I'm mental health, and she's just me. And people wonder, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm the one with the bad attitude, and my nickname for she calls me is me." So we can say the same thing, but she's gonna give it to you ratchet and snatch, ratchet and snatch you. But I try to be poised. But guess what? There's someone. that got the message, and it wasn't from me, it was from her, or
Right.
vice versa. So it's important that you have those differences, because one, as Angela alluded to earlier, that's your attraction. Opposites do attract. But again, all of you said it at different times, multiple times, is the balance. We need our spouses to balance us, because if we're both on 100, guess what, we both going to jail together. But if
Right.
you on 100 and I'm just right here at 5, we got a big chance, right? You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
might go, but I'm gonna get you out. But if we
Right.
both on 100, listen, you can, I don't
Everybody's
know if
stuck.
you can bail yourself, right? You ain't no belly yourself out. We roll, we clink clink.
Right.
So I'm joking about it, but it's really important, because people think that you have to be the same.
Yeah.
It's
No.
okay to be the same, but when you are, sometimes that dulls the marriage. There has to be some kind of fire put into that
Exactly.
marriage, and there has to be, some sense also into the marriage. There's a time to be silly, there's a time to be serious. And one day the roles might reverse. You might be the jokester, Nat, but I guarantee you there's a time where you just looked at him and it could have been something funny just to you, but you were like, that's my man, he funny, even though you're the
Mhm.
jokester. So
Yeah.
when you meet your match, and God gives you that special, he looking like
He
she's
looked
something.
at me. I told you.
No, it's a running joke. It's a running joke. She tells people that I tell bad dad jokes, and so she will look at them and say, "Don't encourage it."
Yes,
And,
don't
you
do
know,
one right now.
that was my look to say, "See, I tell good jokes."
What's your
Now,
next question, Ask Marie?
Don't
First thing before
encourage
you
it.
come up with one.
Don't encourage it.
let me not
You
be
know how many jokes
misheard.
you want to.
Right, what jokes you got, Kevin?
Mm,
She
mm,
said, mm-mm. She said, I'm serious. Mm-mm. No, but in all seriousness, that's the beauty of it, because sometimes when you're not looking for something, God has a way of letting you know you may not be looking for him, but this is what I chose for you. And when we go against the grain, when God is putting something in front of us, whether it's a marriage or whatever it is, when we go against the grain, we learn those hard lessons. But when we are good stewards of his word and his love, then guess what? Things go a lot smoother. And
right.
yes, you alluded to, hey, we've had some, some knockdown, some moments, some unpeaceful moments, but you still found a way to bring peace in your marriage and to resolve it. You were also intelligent enough in your marriage, not personally, but just within your marriage, to say, you know what, baby, tonight is not the night that we're going to resolve this. We're going to come back to it if necessary. And you said
Right.
it may be 6 months, or, we may never come back to it, because again, that's not the hill that you want to, die on or end your marriage on. And we need to take heed to that, because of a lot of, our relationships are failing. And I didn't look up the percentage probably in the last couple of months, but more or less melanin marriages, they're failing, and the rate is high, but it's because they're not putting in the same work that they do at their 9 to 5 that they put into their relationship, because you get pissed off at work all the time, whether it's your job,
Right.
people in general, or the task at hand. You don't quit, you still go to get that paycheck. Your marriage is a paycheck too, just in a different way,
Mm,
Yes.
and they don't see that.
And I think that we have to be careful in marriage never to trample over a teachable moment.
Oh,
And what I mean by that is sometimes there is something I can learn from Natalie. Sometimes there's something she'll be learning from me. And then other times it's God trying to teach us both. That
yes.
even when we feel vulnerable or when we feel unstable,
Mm.
that God is that rock, that foundation that we based our marriage on. And we can always go back to the rock.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I
good.
love it. This is amazing. You guys, listen. I have enjoyed myself. This is
Yes.
We
Thank you.
definitely have to bring y'all back because
I
this
was
is
there. I told Kevin, listen, if you want a spot on the magazine, sir, just
on sign up.
listen, just send the article. You ain't even got to say nothing. Just tell Natalie what email address you come from and just send it. Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and send it whenever
Go
you
ahead and send it. And Nat, you might listen, mind your business, Nat. You go ahead
thank
and let
you.
Kevin do what
Don't
he
be
do.
all up in his articles trying to tell him something. Let him go on and do what he wants to.
Say, don't be correcting him.
Thank
He
you.
right.
I mean, you let him leave him be, as they say, and let him drop
Yes.
what he wants to.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if you want to put a dad joke at the end, let him put that
Let
in
Oh
him
there.
do it.
Lord.
Somebody gonna laugh, Nat.
Somebody is.
And
Somebody,
tell
but not
Fifi
me.
we don't want to hear from her either on that part.
Leave Fifi alone.
We ain't gonna talk about PP.
Fifi
So,
working on Fifi working on September.
ooh,
We cannot wait, honey. I'm telling y'all. So let me ask the question, Kevin. What do you think about all of the shenanigans that your wife comes up with in these magazine articles?
Well,
that's
a
a
couple of
good one.
things. We were talking earlier just about, I believe Sister S. Marie said, you can't both be on 10,
Right,
but you can't both be on zero either.
Either
Because
no.
that means that there's no balance, there's no emotional intelligence.
right.
Uh, and so, here's one of my jokes. What you do is you might try to default to something psychological. So you begin looking at each other, trying to figure out who's psycho and who's logical.
That's true though. Now see,
Don't
that, but that's reality though. Cause look,
I'm
I actually
listening.
like
I'm
that.
listening, S. Marie.
I mean, listen, that's right though.
I
There's
got
there's always one.
I
Look,
can't.
I cannot go.
Nat, okay, how about this? We're gonna move on to Nat. Like, wait till we get off this camera. Mr.
Look,
Kevin,
what you looking at? Girl, are we at the top of the hour yet? Because we Kevin started.
like, come on now.
But I will say this, just parenthetically, I'll say this: I could not be prouder of Natalie than I am in this moment. She is an absolutely amazing human being. Uh,
Yes.
I've watched her uh, as someone who has been loving enough, kind enough to allow me to walk alongside her through life's
Mm.
difficult moments and through life's celebrations. And for that, I am grateful.
Oh, homie, get messy.
Oh,
Now
look,
that's what 40
look,
years
we're
of
going to get
incredible
dad jokes now.
right. Well, oh,
Lipstick.
I
Okay,
can't believe the lipstick.
sorry. I started.
you can miss it. Listen, she had to. That was such a beautiful,
That
beautiful.
was beautiful. It
You're
was.
welcome.
It was.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
So listen, before we go, we have to do this. This is our thing. We love to do this. So we're going to play a game before we depart. It is called Melanin Quickfire. I'm going to give you something, and I just need you to give me one word. It's a closed-ended response. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some fun questions. Don't overthink them. Just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. We
I'm
good?
glad you said don't overthink, because he will.
Real quick question. Okay. Do you give preachers 3 opportunities to close?
No.
No, sir. Just one.
Okay.
That's See, Kevin, that's why it's called quick fire. You got to be quick, Pastor. Come on now. Look, you can't be saying I'm almost through. We can't do that tonight. You got
Right.
I
okay.
can't wait for the Hammond B3 to give me some music, huh?
Can't do it. Okay, first question. Favorite vacation together. Nat, you go.
Maui.
Kevin, same thing. Okay,
Now,
I love it. See, who said I love you first?
I did.
Oh, Nat's girl. Okay, look, he pointed.
She was
Shouldn't
like,
he? You said- okay, who is more romantic?
Me?
Okay, see, I needed him to say it because Nat, we know you.
Oh,
We
I'm
know
sorry.
you
Okay, okay,
he
I'm sorry.
dropped some gems tonight. He
Okay.
did. So
I
I
would say
mean, he said some romantic things, so I had to ask.
I am
Okay.
very pragmatic. And so the way in which I'm romantic, it might not be easily recognized at first. So
As long
Right.
as you okay,
That was some
okay.
answer.
Um, who is the better cook?
Natalie.
Okay. Which one of you
Although
is
if
more
we're talking
like?
about breakfast, it could be me.
We'll take that. We'll take. Don't do
I
that
don't
now.
cook breakfast, so
I was going to say this is his
I could,
favorite meal, so he done perfected that thing.
right,
Right, right.
right.
Okay. Who is more likely to start dancing in the kitchen? I already
Now,
know that.
look,
Look, that laugh gave it. Okay. What's the one song that describes your marriage? Kevin, you tell me first.
oh, wow. Here and Now by Luther
Ooh,
Vandross.
this game over. You
oh, Kevin, look.
honey, not look, okay, Nat.
Inseparable. Our wedding song.
Come on.
Good choice. Good
Okay.
choice. Look at y'all over there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You in a game, Nat. That. Okay. It's like right here, y'all neck and neck. Okay. One word that describes your spouse today. Kevin, you can go first.
Inspiring.
Nat.
Hmm.
She like I got a lot of.
Look, hey,
Dude.
do we need to rate Natalie's comment before she let it slide out?
No, no, I'm ready. I'm ready G today.
Okay.
um,
Right now. Right now.
I'll go with supportive.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, one last question. And I really want you to finish this sentence, okay? So it's not a question, it's I want you to finish a sentence. 40 years later, I still, Nat.
I still love my biscuit.
Oh,
I used to call him biscuit head.
I know. It's hey, biscuit.
Wow. Did I say she tells everything she knows?
We
Look,
know now, Kevin. Look, we know now.
you shouldn't have said
Right.
it look to Angela, because Angela, look, out of nowhere, she might see you. Hey,
You know, that's right. And I'm like,
Right.
I love a little good name. Hey, biscuit.
biscuit. That might be the only thing she can
I'm gonna
remember.
be in trouble now.
Thank you.
Okay, you're not in trouble
Somebody's
now.
got to go to timeout.
Okay, Kevin, same question. 40 years later,
I still know that I made the right choice.
listen. Y'all come back next month, every month.
Y'all have a standing spot on the Melanin Marriage.
Listen, this has been
That's what
amazing.
we might need to do. Give them a spinoff and let them do their own
Oh,
because
that's
y'all.
funny.
You know what? We listen. This has been amazing, truly, 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 because it's incredible. Again, and I know I've said this, but I just have to reiterate that it's just the fact, the love that I see, the laughter. You're both looking at each other with that love in your eyes. That is what thriving relationships look like. And the
Mhm.
fact that I still love my man. I'm gonna say man. I ain't gonna give you still love your man, and he's so supportive. Like this is, just it's beautiful. And it's amazing because this is what the melanin community needs to see. They need to see that there's still love after 40 years, that there is, marriages are worth fighting for, and not to be so quick to give up. Learn how to sustain your marriage. If you keep your tennis shoes clean, you keep your clothes clean, your best outfit, guess what? Treat your marriage the same way. And all of these gems that you've dropped have just truly been inspiring to us. Then you both think that one another is inspiring, but you've inspired us, and we're so glad that you graced us with the cover this month in August. They love what just
Nicoria said, I have truly enjoyed you both tonight. Thank you so much. Just simply beautiful.
Thank you,
uh,
Nicoria.
Thank you.
Listen, this has been such an awesome way for us to come back, with the level of conversation, where people can truly see what it means when you're invested. Like Kevin
mm,
said, it's an investment into someone else. And I think when we start looking at, because you treat things that you invest in a little differently than other things, right?
Right.
And when you can get that in your spirit, that this is an investment, that every single day, you're going to get a return on that investment when you treat it properly, when you honor
Absolutely.
it, when you respect it, when you love.
Absolutely, because I absolutely love being a part of the Melanin Marriage family. It's an amazing magazine. I speak for both of us when I say thank you for giving us the privilege to be on the cover and interviewing us, and for allowing us to be on the podcast tonight. Thank you,
Yes.
ladies. Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, make sure if you all are not subscribed, if nothing else, reach out to us and just get the individual and check out the article and check out, how I mean, because the entire thing is beautiful. I mean, we have the spotlight, we have them as a spotlight couple, but every single article is something in there for everybody. Whether you're single, you're married, you're divorced, you're trying to figure it out, you're confused and don't know. That can give you some clarity. And in every area, we're talking about communication, we're talking about finances, we're talking about, overcoming
Travel.
divorce, yes, I'm single, but we got perspectives from men. So it's very rich. It's a very rich magazine. And I think that, you're not going to go wrong. And $36 for an annual subscription, where they
mhm,
doing that? They're not doing that too many places. So
No.
That's
take
somebody's weekly budget for coffee.
that part.
absolutely that part for sure. Listen, thank y'all again for being here. We know that, listen, y'all know they hot. They in Arizona. So y'all, they brought the heat to
Ooh.
Arizona. Arizona people need to say, listen, Kevin and Natalie is over here. Face hotter than we was expecting. Y'all, it's about 100 and what 10 degrees right now.
About that, yes.
Oh,
Seriously.
but see, they keep it turned up all the time anyway. They used to it, so it's okay.
Her singing Nelly is getting hot in here.
Right, right.
Exactly. All right. Well, listen, we're going to get out of here next week. Make sure you tune in. Dr. Nicoria is going to be here along with Cicely Mason. So we're going to be talking to them. Make sure you tune in 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back and join us in between there. Get a magazine for yourself and get a magazine for somebody else. Because I'm telling you, it's been some gems dropped. Share this broadcast because there's somebody out there who needs to hear it. All
Yeah.
right. Other than that, I think we are out of here. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Good
You
night.
too.
Bye.